What's going on, guys? It's me, Jelana Fan HC here, and today we have another model plane unboxing video for you guys. I hope you guys are excited for today's video. Today, we just got a box right here, and this just came in today from the mail. This box comes from Jet Collector, and I would say that this model in particular is considered to be one of the rarest models you can find, but not really extremely rare. But this did came out last year, I think. I believe like late 2024 is when this model came out. This is one of the new molds from this particular manufacturer, and overall I'm just super excited to have this. I do not have this particular aircraft type in my collection. I just only have one of this type. Yeah, just one of this type, but it's a different variant, but I'm just super excited to have this. So as soon as I saw this, like, oh my god, that's really, honestly, that the livery itself looks really cool on this aircraft, and I decided to get it anyway. But yeah, they also released another one from that same release batch, but I do want to like go over this one. Well, I think this one, I just wanted to get one because like I think this one looks much cooler. And as for someone who collects this particular airline, I think this should be a very nice model. Anyways, I do have my receipt right there. Should be all set with that. And as I take out all of the packing peanuts right there, the model should be inside. Let me try grabbing it from there. Oh yes, I can feel it. Oh yes, there she is. Oh, I guess some packing peanuts decided to spill. But coming out of the box, we have the Panda Models 1/400 scale Delta Airlines McDonnell Douglas MD-11 in the Widget Livery. Really nice to have another widget model, or just a widget plane for my Delta Airlines collection. And honestly, alongside the L1011, the MD-11 looks very nice in this livery, and yeah, why not get it anyway, so I can like partner that with my L1011. But don't get me wrong, I think the L1011 does look very nice in this livery, but I think the MD-11 can come in at second place. But still, I'm really glad to have this particular plane, and this is my second Panda model in my collection. But yeah, I'm just super excited to have this. Oh, actually not really second, my third Panda model in my collection, but it's my second Panda in a while, like in months I guess, because like I just got the Panda 764 from Delta Airlines in the SkyTeam livery. Now I got this beauty in the Delta Widget livery on the MD-11. So super excited to unbox this model in the next clip. So without being said, let's move on to the review of the box. Alright, so here's the Panda Models 1/400 scale Delta Airlines McDonnell Douglas MD-11 in the 1960s Classic Widget livery. Really cool model to have in my collection. Once again, this is my first MD-11 in a long time. Plus, this is also my first passenger MD-11. I do have the UPS MD-11 freighter that I got back in 2023. So why not do a passenger variant with this Delta MD-11 right here? So it's really nice to diverse my aircraft types. Of course, like from freighter to passenger, depending which aircraft type it is. So yeah, I think I got more 747 freighters. Well, I just only got... yeah, I don't think I had that many 747 freighters, but yeah, but still, I think this MD-11 should fit perfect for my Delta Airlines retro collection, and overall, I'm really excited to unbox this. So you got the MD-11 tiles right there, you got the McDonnell Douglas logo right there. Here's their symbol, which that's actually their symbol before they merged with Boeing, and Boeing had a similar like logo to this, but it's just styled because like this part it's now like swooped around here. So this is the McDonnell Douglas logo right there. Here's the CGI image of the plane. You got the Delta Airlines logo, like just the Delta titles, italicized, 1/400 scale die-cast model. Registration on this aircraft is November 808 Delta Echo. And honestly, I really do like this box style. You got like some parts of the box have the navy blue color, and then you can see some kind of like different color shades of blue as it transpires into like a red and white sides right there. So that's a really nice box design for Panda. It's not really as like creative as NG, but still I do like it. Here is the bottom of the box. You can see the Delta Airlines widget logo right there. And you can see the aircraft reg, Delta Airlines, and then the item number, which is 62428. Here is the right side of the box, top of the box, and the left side of the box. You can see the MD-11 tiles right there, and the McDonnell Douglas logo. And then here is the back side. Nothing to go over too much. It's the same thing. You got your warning hazards and your made in China tiles right there. So let's get into the unboxing. So again, because Panda Models as of recent, they have been improving on their quality controls. While yes, there might be some Panda Models that may come broken, But majority of times, for what I'm seeing, I think Panda Models did improve on the quality controls unlike before. So you've seen the example on Mass Unboxing 15 with my Delta 764 in the SkyTeam livery. That was a really good good stuff from Panda. So hopefully this mold does not come broken. Either way, this is a new mold. I mean, yes, it is a new mold, but who knows what might happen to this model, but we'll just have to wait and find out as she comes out of the box. And gosh, that looks pretty. Wow. Oh my god, it's a really cool model when you look at it in person. I'm not sure why I have my camera zoom like that. Okay, I think this should be a little bit okay. So yeah, but still, this is just a really fascinating model right there for my retro collection for Delta Airlines. And man, that looks fantastic, and I hope it's not broken. Oh yeah. Wow. Woohoo! Yes. Gosh, oh my god. Hopefully the wings are good. Okay, the wings are good. Let me check this wing. Okay, that's good. Horizontal stabilizers. Let's see. And we're good. Oh my gosh. Wow. Holy crap. That thing looks fantastic. Whew. Panda Models did a wonderful job, and another streak right there for no broken models from Panda. But holy crap, that looks fantastic. Gosh, they did a really excellent job on this particular aircraft. Let me check for antennas. Okay, antennas are good. Just want to make sure. But gosh, dang, wow. Oh my god, like I'm not sure if that's language appropriate, but oh my god. That when you get that model out of the box and hold it in person, you know that it's a really beautiful model right there. Man, that is just a stunner right there from Panda Models. Really glad to have it for my Delta Airlines retro collection, and overall, that's just a job well done. And just from looking at the MD-11 mold, it looks fantastic. So great work, Panda Models, on this aircraft right here. And here's the Panda Models 1/400 scale Delta Airlines McDonnell Douglas MD-11 in the 1960s Widget Livery. Gosh, this is a really cool model right here. Really glad to have this in my collection. So that makes it the 4th Delta widget in my collection. I have the L1011, the 737-200, and the 757-200. And honestly, the livery itself, again, it just looks so nice on this aircraft. And yeah, this aircraft had to go through like different liveries. They had after like the widget, the Ron Allen livery came, and then the Colors of Motion was also featured in this aircraft. But after that, after like the Colors of Motion plane, this plane retired in 2004 for the Delta Airlines fleet. But still, it's a really cool model to have, and I'm really glad to have this MD-11 in my collection. So you got the cockpit windows right there, and then you got the nose shape of the aircraft. I think Panda Models did a good job on representing the nose shape of the MD-11. And then here is the black nose right there, and then you can see like from like the black nose of the plane, you got like the black paint that's applied onto like the bottom portion of the cockpit windows. Kind of significant on Delta's widget livery. They also had an iteration where it's just the black nose, and then this was not part of the livery. That's on their DC-10s and their 747s, and I think some of their DC-8s and 727s as well. And then you got the navy blue cheat line right there, and the red sin cheat line of the livery itself. And then on the bottom portion of the plane, you can see the chrome. Like, this is literally made out of chrome. So really cool on how Panda Models was also like able to replicate some chrome on their planes right there. They also did this on their American MD-11. And then I'm guessing these are like not cockpit, these are like cargo holds right there. I'm not sure if I'm correct on this, but I'm guessing these are like the cargo holds of the plane right there. And it's quite surprising on how, or maybe this could be like bulk compartments if I were to take a guess, but it's really interesting on how they're placed in front of the aircraft instead of like in the rear end of the plane. Here is your nose landing gear and your nose landing gear door, and then there's the aircraft ship number right there. Well, part of the aircraft registration, 808. And yeah, nose landing gear door, and then all your wheel strut details. I think Panda Models did a good job on that. There's your bottom antenna as well. And then you got the Delta Airlines slanted styles right there, or the italicized titles. And then you got the Delta Airlines widget back in like the 60s era during the jet age. You got your L1 boarding door, and then there's your L2 door right there. This also is an L2 boarding door, so that can also count as a boarding door as well. And moving on to the middle section of the plane, you can see a top antenna right there. No Wi-Fi domes on this aircraft because this is the aircraft that was flown during like the like the retro era of aviation right there. And then there's your Pratt & Whitney PW4000 engines with the Delta Airlines logo right there, and then your Pratt & Whitney logo as well. And I think Panda Models also did a wonderful job on the PW4000 engines. They also have some really good ground spacing as well. And then there's your main landing gear right there, and then you can see the wing right there. And then let's look at that winglet. So here's the winglet of the MD-11. As you can see, it's not really like it's a split scimitar winglet, but not like what you see on the 737. So as you can see, the upper winglet is much bigger than the lower winglet, and the lower winglet, while it is tiny, it's also put in more forward to this area of the wing strut right there. And then you can see some navigation lights. I like on how they also added some navigation lights on this aircraft as well. And there's your main landing gear as well. As you can see, you got the main landing gear on the wings, and then you got the middle landing gear that's mounted on the fuselage. As I pull up the extra details right there, like the wing details, as you can see, Panda Models also did a wonderful job on representing the wing details. I do like the fact, I'm guessing they're made out of metallic, if I were to say. Like the inner parts of the inner part of the wing, and then you can see the spoilers and flaps. I'm guessing those are made out of metallic, which I think that's what you normally see on most older planes. So I do like the fact that Panda Models was able to replicate this. But as you can see all your various like slats, flaps, and then you can see the aileron details right there, and your wing roots, which I think Panda Models also did a good job on. I'm not sure why, but there's some kind of like open gap. It's not really quite too noticeable for me, but if you just look up close, you can see that gap, but I don't really mind too much about that. All I care about is this model coming intact, which I'm glad it did. Moving on to the back area of the aircraft, you can see your L4 door right there. There's your bottom antenna as well, and then you can see part of the chrome reflectance of the underbelly. You got the aircraft registration, November 808 Delta Echo. And then moving on to the empennage area of the plane, you can see the APU. I'm not sure where the APU is on this aircraft, but there's a bulk compartment right there. There's your horizontal stabilizers as well, and this is the number 2 engine of the MD-11. As you can see, I do like the fact that they're also able to replicate this. And then there's the aircraft's dorsal fin right there. And then moving on to the tail area, there is the Delta Airlines tail with the US flag slanted on this side, and then the aircraft chart number 808. There are different iterations of the Delta Airlines MD-11 tail. So this one features the MD-11 tiles on the number 2 engine, and then there's the Delta logo on the tail itself. There's another version of this tail where the titles right here says Delta, and then there's nothing on the widget, and it just like remains a Delta widget. So I do like this version a lot more, but I might also try to, depending, honestly, I think I like this version of the tail more than the one where it just has the Delta tiles on the engines with no Delta titles on the Delta widget logo. I think this one looks much more better than that. Anyways, moving on to the front section. Well, let me know in the comments on what you guys prefer. Anyways, moving on to the front section of the plane. Let me try lowering down my tripod so you can get a better look at it. So as you can see, here's the bottom. I'm not sure if it has to do with my camera, but it seems a little slanted. Let me see. Or maybe it has to do with the box, if I were to take a guess. But as you can see, the cockpit windows are printed very well. It's straight and level, and as you can see some great ground flex on the engines, like the ground flex on the wings, but you can see the good ground clearance on the engines right there. So overall, but yeah, looking at it from a camera, the tail kind of appears slanted, which I'm not sure why it's like that, but it has to do with the box, if I were to take a guess. Anyways, moving on to the starboard section of the plane. As you can see, let me prop up my tripod like so, again. So as you can see, you got your R doors, R1, R2, R3, and R4. There's your forward cargo bin, which is located right there, and your aft cargo bin is located right there. Now as I give you guys a top view of the plane, here's the top view of the plane. There's nothing too much on details. You just have a beacon light and some extra details, and then there's your single top antenna. And then moving on to the bottom section, let me look at something. I do want to mention that there's also metallic materials on the horizontal stabilizers as well. Moving on to the bottom, gosh, that chrome looks absolutely amazing right there. I do like the fact they added in the APU exhaust door right there, but you can see some other details as well. And then there's your stand hole right there, and overall, this is just really perfect on the bottoms. And there's your main landing gears right there. So you got 2 main landing gears on the wings and 1 main landing gear on the fuselage, which is kind of like your characteristic of, like a common characteristic you see on the MD-11. as mentioned before, here's the front view of the plane from this angle right there, and then moving on to the back. Here is the back view of the plane. So overall, this is a very fantastic model right there from Panda. Really glad to have this, and yeah, trying to build up my what is that? My widget, Delta Airlines widget fleet, yeah. Because like there's a couple of Delta widget planes that I do like. Of course, there's the 727, the DC-8. I might see if I can try getting the 727 next as my next Delta widget livery. Who knows when that's gonna be coming, but if I ever attend a collectible show and find this model, maybe from Gemini Jets if I take it gets, and I'll get it. But still, this is another great addition to my Delta Airlines widget fleet, and I'm really glad to have it for my collection right here from Panda Models. So, that's it for this unboxing, but I do want to give you guys a conclusion and my final thoughts on this model, so without being said, let's get into that portion. And that's going to do it for today's small unboxing, and just for fun, I decided to line up all of my 1/400 Delta widget model planes I have in my collection. So, as you can see, I now have 4 Delta widget model planes. So, of course, we'll start off on the left. So, we're going to go from left to right with the Delta 737-200 from Aero Classics. I got that during Airliners International 2023. Next up, we have the Delta 757-200. I got that from the January 2024 release batch. And honestly, it's a really nice model from Gemini Jets right there. Next up, this is my first Delta widget model, which is the MD-11 TriStar. That was from the July 2022 releases from NG Models, and honestly, it's considered to be one of my, this is literally my favorite Delta retro model right there. The MD-11, it just looks fantastic. And of course, we have my recent one, which is the Panda Models Delta MD-11, which it's nice too, but I think the MD-11 really tops it all off on this model. Like, if you're comparing all the tri-jets from Delta's liveries, like when the Delta widget used to be on the tri-jets, I prefer the MD-11 because it just looks nice. But it's a really nice collection right here, and I'm just super excited to hopefully expand my Delta widget collection in the future. Hopefully I could try to get a 727 or an MD-80. Hopefully Gemini Jets does release an MD-80 in 1/4 scale in the Delta widget livery in the future. Maybe I might see if I could get a 741, a DC-8. There's a lot of possibilities with this Delta livery right here. And honestly, again, it's my favorite retro livery overall for Delta Airlines. But yeah, really nice setup right here. And yeah, the Panda MD-11, it just looks really fantastic. And I'm really glad to have that for my collection. So that's it for today's video. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And turn on that post notification bell so you won't miss a new video like this on my channel soon. And yeah, don't forget to check out all my model boxing content and all my model plane content by clicking on those playlists. I can see all those videos that are listed on that playlist. So that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Good night.